Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count after 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
After 4 straight weeks of thrilling action here in the Overtake iRacing League's Tuesday night Xfinity Series, we make the short jaunt from mid-Ohio, just a little farther west outside of Des Moines, Iowa, for tonight's contest, the 5th race of the season from the virtual Iowa Speedway, here in the Overtake iRacing League Xfinity Series, and what should be an absolute barn burner if the first 4 weeks have had anything to say about it. Good evening, everybody. My name is Alex Gagnon. I will be your play-by-play host tonight, and working all the buttons behind the scene, it is Christian Hill, our producer this evening. Should be a fun one here live on V-Speed. Let's take a quick look at the points as we run here through the opening 4 races. As you can see, a lot to fight for up in that top group. Alex Penn's victory last week at Mid-Ohio jaunts him to the top of the table here, just ahead of Jim Ott and Tony Iverson, but still anyone's battle to fight for here. And not only that, but also looking for the first repeat winner. Could it happen here tonight at Iowa, or will we get our 5th different winner of the season? With that, it brings us to Iowa Speedway tonight. A quick look at our schedule here. First of several oval tracks in a row here, going all the way down toward Watkins Glen in a few weeks' time. But right now, Iowa, a big opportunity here before we go to Indianapolis. So a good opportunity on a less than a 1-mile track for these drivers to prove themselves here. Speaking of which, let's take a look at that track here. It's a pretty one. 7/8 mile oval here in Newton, Iowa, just east of Des Moines. 14-degree banking and 14 degrees of banking in the turns, 10 degrees of banking on the straightaways. This 4-corner D oval should provide quite the challenge here. Watch him practice. I saw a lot of drivers having issues coming off of turn 2. You feel like you can carry the speed through the corner with that banking to really get on the throttle off of turn 2. That is a lie. That is very deceptive, and I've seen a lot of drivers put the power down just a little too early, and then they end up spinning off of turn 2. So certainly going to be a challenging drive for these folks tonight, but should be a fun one nonetheless. With that, qualifying has concluded, and it's time for tonight's grid. get ready here for the OiL race at Iowa Speedway. On pole tonight, it's our winner from last week, Alex Penn in the 30, ahead of James Silvers in the 33, who will be starting on the outside of row 1. Kyle Mays will be rolling off third there in the 55. Daniel Cunningham in the 08 rolling off fourth. Row 3, it'll be the 4 of Jim Ott and the 32 of Brett Bieber. Row 4, it's Drew Prohl in the 80 and the 11 of Dustin Reinstedel. And in row 5, Michael Kostick in the 8 and Michael Nash in the 60. Bobby Hall Jr. and Andy Kurtz rolling off in 11th and 12th here this evening. In 13th, it'll be the 44 of Jason Harrison. And in 14th, the 114 of Travis Bieber, back after a couple weeks of absence. 15th, it'll be the 31 of Blake Hensley, who just missed out on that victory last week at Mid-Ohio. He'll be rolling off alongside Craig Schroeder in the 56. 17th there, it's Kyle Roberts in the 35, Matt McMeekin in the 41 to his outside. 19th and 20th, it'll be Cody Anderson in the 42 and Lucas Lyons in the 48. Tony Iverson rolling back in 21st. He's got a long way to go if he wants to become the first two-time winner this season. He'll be alongside Justin Ray in the 38. And Thomas Hall rounds us out there in the 23rd and final position of tonight's race. Should be a great one. Everyone kind of getting lined up behind the pace car here. The light's already off. Only one pace lap here around Iowa Speedway. Oh, I stand corrected, actually. The lights are off now, but they will have one more lap of pacing. So while we've got a second here, let's take a look at today's track conditions and race information. It'll be 100 laps for about 85 to 87 miles, depending on who you ask. iRacing has multiple different reports, but this 7/8 mile oval should provide a ton of fun. It's only 75 degrees outside, but it is a nice toasty track there at 112, so though that warm track condition will definitely be something that these drivers are going to have to fight tonight, in addition to all the competitors that they're versing out there. It's going to be a warm one. The tires are going to heat up quick and fall off quick, if any record is to be indicated here. So here we go through turns 3 and 4. Pace car going to peel off, this time by last week's winner, Alex Penn, on pole. Looking to become the first repeat winner this season. He's put himself in great position to do so there, starting in position number 1. Pace car peels off. They've hit the Geico restart zone, and we are rolling here in the OiL Xfinity Series. Alex Penn will lead him into turn 1. Alex Penn out front here to start this one off. Everyone got a little checked up going into turn 1. Varying levels of ambition on those cold tires, trying to get it sorted out into the corner. But it'll be the 30 who will get good separation to get this one going. The 55 of Kyle Mays will jump forward to become his closest contender for the lead. Jim Ott, Daniel Cunningham, and James Silvers, who started up in second, already back to 5th here. Not a great opening couple laps here for the 33. He's got to rally back here or else face a lot of cars who are right on his heels in Hall and Bieber. But right now, the 30 out in front by 0.3 of a second here over Kyle Mays as they make their way through turn 3 and 4. And back into turn 1 they go. About a 1.5 car length gap separating the 30 and the 55 right now. The 30 running that middle line through 1 and 2. The 55 all the way down to the apron. Looks to be he'll be running the same line here. He's got a nose to the inside of the 30 here. Kyle Mays trying to take the lead away, sliding just up behind the 30. That lap lead will go to Alex Penn, but he's under a lot of pressure right now as the 55 looking to his inside, trying to take that lead away as Jim Ott also sneaking into the picture here as well to make it a 3-car battle for the lead. Penn seems dedicated to running that middle groove. The 55 of Kyle Mays really dedicated to that bottom line. Right now hasn't worked out too well for the 55. Now a change in tactics, looking a lane up from the 30 as Penn shifted down to the inside. The 55 trying to extend out to that wall, maybe clipped just a hair, but it didn't slow down his momentum as now he's got a good run to get to the inside of the 30 here. Not able to get alongside, though, on corner exit, which is what he'll need to do in order to make this pass work. So right now, the pressure's still on up front, and these three cars have checked out from the rest of the field. It is nearly a 2-second gap between the top three cars right now and fourth on back. On to lap number 8 of this 100-lap event. Alex Penn right now under fire from Kyle Mays on behind. Mays has not been able to find the magic solution to get around the 30 just yet. He looks again to the inside with a bit of a better run there. Almost clipped the corner of the 30 coming off turn 4 there. That being said, no contact between the two cars. And this battle will continue. Now Mays steps in behind the 30 as Penn looked to go a little bit lower through turn 1 and 2. Stalking the leader right now is the 55, trying to see if he can find his way by. A good run down the backstretch will pull him alongside Penn through 3 and 4. He's going to be side by side off of turn 4. Here comes the battle for the lead to the front straightaway. Who's it going to be in the turn 1? Penn shifted up an extra lane, now trying to get back down and do a little bit of side drafting of the 55. Mays has got a nose ahead right now, but he hasn't cleared him yet. That Ford Mustang trying to reach out and grab that lead away from the Chevy Camaro to its outside. Not able to make that pass stick just yet, though. Both of these cars definitely going to be putting a lot of heat into their tires right now with all this side-by-side battling lap after lap. Oh, and the caution is out here as the leaders were battling up front. It's the 60 of Michael Nash who is around. Not sure who else may have been involved, but it certainly looks like the 60 is in that group, and it definitely looks like that car has taken some pretty significant damage. And I believe this incident started back on the front stretch. How he got into the corner then, I will have no idea, but it does seem that the 60 made contact way, way up the track. So that will bring out our first caution of the day here on lap number 12. The 60 of Michael Nash, heavy contact there along the front stretch going in the turn 1 as you see him bringing that machine down pit road. Here's the replay. Contact between Nash and the 31 of Blake Hensley coming across the start-finish line. Spins the 60 around out into that outside wall, and he slides it all the way back to the entrance of turn 1. The 31 of Hensley into the wall as well. Heavy contact for both cars. Although I don't think it's unfair to say the 60 got the worst end of that deal. He is missing a whole lot of sheet metal off that machine. So, some cars elected to stay out on that pit cycle. Some of them came down pit road. One of those cars who looks like they may have come down pit road was the 30 of Alex Penn, which will make the 55 of Kyle Mays inherit the lead here ahead of Jim Ott and Bobby Hall. Jason Harrison and Tony Iverson right now, the top 5 as they run. The opening few laps had been led by the 30 of Alex Penn. He was under fire from the 55 for a good chunk of that opening stint, but all three of them, those two and the 4 of Jim Ott, really got a lot of separation from the rest of the field here before that caution came out. I'll be interested to see if they can replicate that on these older tires compared to the rest of the grid. or if they will get eaten alive by those who came down pit road. That is going to be the intriguing question as we get ready to go racing once again. The light's still out on the pace car, but I do believe this is the 2 to go on the green flag here. So when they get back to the start finish line, it'll be one lap. Little green flag racing once again here at Virtual Iowa. So the lights are indeed out on this pace car, which means these drivers are going to get themselves set up and ready to go for another round here at Iowa Speedway. This 7/8 mile oval proven to be an early challenge from some of our competitors, but not even in the corners like I would have expected based off of seeing some of the practice runs. It seems to be that straightaway was where Hensley and Nash made contact with each other. That seems to be the trickiest spot on the track right now, at least as far as how we're viewing the cautions. We do know there will be at least a caution at lap 35 for the one and only scheduled stage break. So this stint at most will be 20 laps. We'll see if those cars who stayed out can make it to that stage break still in the lead. Pace car peels off. Those cars making their way down the front stretch. Barney's got that green flag in the air, and we are racing once again at Iowa. Getting 3, almost 4 wide, a little farther back in the field coming off of turn 2. Cody Anderson in a hornet's nest there with the 30 or the 93 of Hall. Not to mention the 08 of Cunningham all the way up there. Michael Kostick into the scene as well as the 33 of James Silvers. Boy, they were 4 wide for a second, now 3 wide. As they will remain that way. Now also 3 wide a little farther up between Craig Schroeder, Tony Iverson, and they shut out the 33 of Silvers. Silvers, though, looking to the inside of the 24 as they make their way into turn 3. That is James Silvers in the 33 on the bottom. Iverson splitting the difference between him and Schroeder right now. 24 washes up slightly, and that's going to let the 56 and the 33 roll on by. Iverson will have to fall back to 8th. And is just trying to get a handle on that machine right now, as there is a whole lot of cars bearing down on him right now. He's back to the inside of Schroeder, but that pass will be easier said than done as they make their way back into turn 3. On board here with the 33 of James Silvers, looking off his back bumper, seeing the Hornet's nest behind him. He did start on the front row here today, although fell back a little bit in the early going, trying to rally himself back toward the front. As you can see, 2-3 wide all throughout the back part of the field there. Everyone trying to find each little bit of real estate they can, trying to get that extra position on track. It's only lap 19, but they're racing like it might be lap 91 of this 100-lap race right now. You see the 8 there of Michael Kostick trying to roll the outside. Now looking to the middle, trying to split the defense between Iverson and Schroeder. He gets around the 24, now to the inside of the 56. The 32 of Brett Bieber also trying to sneak his way around the outside. And the 5 of Andy Kurtz. It is an absolute run on that middle and high lane right now. The 24's trapped down low, nowhere to go for Tony Iverson, and he is suffering because of it. Meanwhile, Alex Penn and Kyle Mays, the battle's on up front. We know Penn came down pit road to pick up those fresh tires, and he has driven away from those top 2 cars. The 55 and the 4 right now just trying to hold on to the back bumper of Alex Penn here and make it to the end of the stage. Not being said, not working too well for him right now. The 30 has checked out from these two. 4/10 already after a lap. Jim Ott maybe looking to the inside of Kyle Mays, who's got Ott's got James Silvers all over his back bumper right now. 3-car battle for second across the start-finish line. And as they make their way toward lap 23, that 33 of James Silvers is hungry to try and get past these 2 cars and try and track down the leader. Ott's got a nose to the inside, trying to lunge in. Can't quite clear the 55. Everyone makes a little bit of contact. The 55 on the back bumper of the 4. The 33 with the 55. Now Silver's looking to the inside of Mays. Oh, heavy contact between the two. The 33 nearly loses it, but he's able to save it. What a save from the 33 of Silvers and Kyle Mays for that matter, but especially the 33 down onto the apron, brought it back, only lost one position in that entire skirmish. The 08 of Cunningham was able to get around the outside, but here comes Silvers now, looking back to the inside of the 55. You got to imagine both these drivers are a little hot in their helmets right now after that bit of contact so early in the race. We'll see how they race each other here. Silvers able to fully clear the 55 on the inside there. He will check out from Kyle Mays. So that battle will settle down for the moment, but it is not done yet for Kyle Mays. Here comes Michael Kostick to his inside. Daniel Cunningham looking there as well. And then 3 wide a little farther back, Brett Bieber's got a whole host of cars on his back bumper with Kurtz, the 48 of Lyons, and the 44 of Ayrton. Andy Kurtz trying to get that low side to work. Our winner from Gateway 2 weeks ago, trying to get his way into the top 10 here. Currently scored 9th, maybe make it 8th. Looking for more here before the stage break on these fresh tires. Brett Bieber just ahead of him. Looking to the inside of Kyle Mays in the battle for 6th. As is Lucas Lyons trying to get around the 55. But the 5 of Andy Kurtz, a great run off of turn 2. He's going to fly right around the outside of Lucas Lyons. However, couldn't drive it in as deep with the 55 in front of him. So this battle will continue. Not a whole lot of room to operate right now for Andy Kurtz, but he'll slide ahead of the 48, taking away that 8th position. And now maybe looking for 7th as he squares up with the back bumper of the 55. 7 laps to go before the one and only stage break here from Iowa Speedway in the Overtake iRacing League. Andy Kurtz right now looking to the inside of the 55 of Kyle Mays. He's got a nose ahead right now, so tentatively scored in the 7th position. Not done yet, though. Alex Penn checked out from the field, a nearly 2-second gap over Jim Ott, but Jim Ott has his hands full right now of the 33 of James Silvers. Silvers actually just got around on the inside, finally able to clear the 4 there as Silvers. He will now be able to look out that windshield and try and do anything to track down Alex Penn, but with only 6 laps before the stage break, I doubt that he'll have a chance to really close that gap any bit. If you're Jim Ott, though, in the 4, it's all about trying to manage what's left of those tires with those cars behind you. Here comes Michael Kostick on the outside, trying to get that outside line to work. He's going to get a little bit of a run here, maybe peek to the inside. Now looking to the inside is the 8. He's already up 5 positions from where he started today, trying to make it number 6 as he makes that path there on Jim Ott pretty easily on that low side. So the 8 now onto the final step of the podium here around Jim Ott in the 4. Ott and Cunningham rounding out that top 5. All of them chasing Alex Penn in the 30 right now, though. Jim Ott's had a pretty solid start to the season. He has not one, but 2 different second-place finishes over the opening 4 races of this season. Has not found victory lane yet. He's looking to change that here today on this alternate cycle from some of the cars currently in the lead. As it does appear Silvers is putting a bit of a slash into the lead of Alex Penn right now. It's definitely not going to be enough before the stage. But we do know that 33's got a lot of pace. He was able to stick it up on that front row alongside the 30. So it'll be interesting to see if these 2 cars can get back to each other after the stage break. About 2 laps to go here in the opening stage of this race. Looking a little farther back into the top 10, we've got a good battle going here with Travis Bieber and Andy Kurtz. The 114 just a minute ago got around the 5, but Andy Kurtz has not let him get away. The 41 of Matt McMeekin into the picture as well. A little 3-car battle for 8th as they run. Going to see if Andy Kurtz has anything for him here, but that is lap 35, which means the stage yellow has come out. Alex Penn will win the one and only stage here from Iowa Speedway. He put it on pole, led most of the laps here in this opening going. and he will get himself a nice little bit of bonus points in the standings for it. 25 of the opening 35 laps has been led here by the 30. He won last week at Mid-Ohio, and he's got all the momentum in the world right now as he wins the opening stage at Iowa. So the top 10 for that stage as they run, it was Penn, Silvers, Kostick, Ott, and Cunningham, your top 5. Brett Bieber, Lucas Lyons, Travis Bieber, Andy Kurtz, and Matt McMeekin, 6th through 10th. Currently 22 of our 23 cars still on the lead lap. The only car who is not on the lead lap as they run is the 60 of Michael Nash with that heavy damage that he received in the lap 12 incident. But our leaders coming down pit road here. Here comes the 30 of Penn, the 33 of Silvers, and just about the rest of the field. This will be a huge battle for track position here. Not guaranteed a caution after this one, so you got to make this pit stop count. Right side's down on both the 30 and the 33. Left sides are up. As someone comes roaring off of pit road, it's the 48 of Lucas Lyons who will win out over both the 30 and the 33. And I think Silvers may have just been able to nip Alex Penn at the line. So it might be Lyons and then Silvers and Penn, the battle off of pit road. The 30 going backwards 2 spots, and the 48 of Lucas Lyons with a big shot forward. Been a fun one so far from the virtual Iowa Speedway here. 38 laps complete. 2 cautions so far in the Overtake iRacing League event. 1 scheduled, 1 accident. Currently, the 48 of Lucas Lyons out front via pit strategy, looking to lead his first laps of this event. But he's got Alex Penn and James Silvers who will be looking to change that in a moment's notice once that green flag drops. For our current and new leader, Lucas Lyons, it's been a pretty decent start to the season. 3 top 10s, including a top 5 last week at Mid-Ohio. His best finish of the season where he placed 5th. He gets to pair that as well with the 9th that he got at Atlanta, as well as the 6th he picked up at Gateway. So not a bad start to the year for the 48, but still looking for that first win of the season. He's up 19 spots from where he started, some through passing on track, some through pit strategy. But they don't ask how you get there. It's just a matter of how you can hold on once you get up to the front. That is going to be the question here for the 48. That being said, it sounds like the 48 already maybe thinking some fuel save here. Interesting thing to note under caution. Maybe it's just trying to give yourself more options down the line, or maybe there's some more pit strategy at work here for the 48. Seeing if maybe he can extend it quite a distance, or at least give himself the opportunity to do so should this go green to the end. With the lights out on the pace car, we'll be going green this time by Lyons and Silvers in row 1, Penn and Ott row 2, and then in row 3 it'll be Michael Kostick and Brett Bieber rounding out that top 6 group. Daniel Cunningham and Andy Kurtz row 4, Craig Schroeder and Matt McMeekin row 5. So a couple of names we've seen up front most of the early going of this race. A couple names that we have not seen the opportunity to do so in this starting spot. We'll see what they can do here as the pace car will bring it back down pit road. Barney's got that green flag in the air, and an early launch off the line there for the 48, trying to get some distance over the rest of the field. We are racing once again at Iowa. That was a great launch there by the 48 of Lucas Lyons. Completely caught the rest of the field by surprise. And it's going to open up quite the gap on behind. Silvers and Ott now battling out for second as Alex Penn relegated back to fourth here. 3 wide as they go into turn 1, almost 4 wide. The 114 going to bail out of that situation. I can't say I blame him. That was going to get really ugly in a second there if no one had any give. Mays to the inside here on Ayrson and Hall. Looks like they're going to get it settled for now. Now the 114 of Travis Bieber going to try and take it to the 94 here at Hall as they make their way into turn 1. This is the battle just outside the top 10, about 10th through 13th on track right now. A lot of positions up for grab here on these restarts as you now see the battle for 8th unfolding as well. Alex Penn going backwards in a hurry. He's about to lose out to the way to Daniel Cunningham. And now Andy Kurtz, Mac McMeekin as well trying to capitalize. Kurtz is going to have a better chance to do so on that outside. McMeekin, though, all over the back bumper of the 30. Our pole sitter dropping down the table here on this restart. Oh, contact! The 55 and the 30 doored each other going down the backstretch. Can't say either of those drivers were particularly thrilled with that one. But they were able to keep it off the wall. This race stays green, but the 30 just continues to sink down the timing table. Now scored outside the top 10 for the first time this evening. Trying to find his way back into that top line here, maybe behind the 94. But he's under pressure from the 114 of Travis Bieber and the 24 of Tony Iverson looking to make it 3 wide. Looks like Bieber's going to be able to roll it around that outside. He's got a nose ahead. He might be able to get that run off the corner here to take that position away for 12th, and you will be able to do so. Looking a little farther back up into the front here. Travis Bieber and James Silvers. The battle for 4th is on. The 32 maybe looking to that inside on the straightaway. Now looking to his outside here. And he's got a whole host of cars behind him. Cunningham, Mays, and Kurtz all onto the scene as well. This back half of the top 10, no positions are safe right now. Coming off the corner here, Kyle Mays takes the position away of 6th from Daniel Cunningham. Cunningham relegated back to 7th here, staring down the back bumper of the 55. Cunningham now battling with Matt McMeekin here. That 41 has been on a slow but steady march toward the front here, now looking to take away the 7th position. He's got a nose ahead but hasn't fully cleared the 08. Sliding off turn 4, now he'll get the job done. Matt McMeekin up to 7th. And the battle here for Daniel Cunningham far from over. He's got McMeekin in front of him, but he's got Ayrson and Kurtz side by side directly behind him. Ayrson in that yellow 44 on the inside. Kurtz in the black number 5 up high. Trying to roll the corner here. Not a whole lot of room for Ayrson to get a good launch off the corner. That's going to let Kurtz take away that position and move into the 9th spot. As we're 1 lap away from this midway point in this 100-lap race, it is Lucas Lyons out front over Jim Ott. But the battle from 3rd on back, crazy stuff right now. In they go to turn number 1. Kurtz looking to the outside of Cunningham, but he won't have the momentum to make this pass attempt this time by. Looking a little farther ahead from them. McMeekin has a nose to the inside of Brett Bieber just in front of him. Can the 41 get the job done on the inside, or will Brett Bieber be able to defend on that outside line? This is the battle for 6th. McMeekin trying to slide up in front of the 32, not able to clear him just yet. Now looking to the inside, here is that 41. Gonna be able to get a slide job done here in front of the 32. Now up to 6th position, looking ahead toward Kyle Mays and James Silvers. A track of this size does not give you a whole lot of time to breathe. The moment you're out of the corner, you've got about 2-3 seconds to mentally collect yourself, and then you're diving right back into the corner once again. So, whole lot of turning here at Iowa. Not a whole lot of time to think. You just got to be able to have the instinct to go out there and do what you need to do, while also being mindful of not burning up your stuff too early in the run if this stays green. Looking at our leaders, though, Jim Ott has closed the gap to Lucas Lyons. He is right there. The 4 looking to the inside of the 48, maybe not this time by. Now maybe into turn 1, he's going to take a dive. Jim Ott in the 4 on the inside, the 48 of Lucas Lyons to the outside. This is the battle for the lead here on lap 55. Ott does not get the run he was looking for off the corner. That inside line has struggled all night with that release on corner exit. You just can't get all the momentum that you want with that line being hindered by the car on the outside. So that has allowed the 48 to stay right with him here. But the 4 will really lunge into this corner, taking that middle line, forcing Lyons a little higher up. And Jim Ott will take the lead here at Iowa on lap 56. An aggressive move there from the 4 will gift him the lead for the first time here this evening. About 44 laps to go in this one. Jim Ott and Lucas Lyons right now, the 2 cars out front. A full zip code ahead of Michael Kostick back in 3rd. Jim Ott now looking to set sail, looking for his first victory of the season. He's got 2 runner-up finishes in the opening 4 races. You know he would certainly love to finally put one in victory lane here today. Little onboard action here with our leader. Up close and personal, if you will. On board with Lucas Lyons. He's led 18 laps here, but that 4 starting to get smaller and smaller in that front windshield. He's got plenty of a gap back to Michael Kostick in 3rd, but that 4 car starting to get away from the 48 just a little bit here. They're starting to drive away into that nice clean open air. Whoever's been the leader has really been able to benefit from the clean air out here. We've seen that the opening couple cars, the lead couple cars, they've really been able to put a gap on the rest of the field with that clean air. It has certainly come as an advantage to the leader, and we're seeing that play out in real time here with Jim Ott and Lucas Lyons. A big gap back to Michael Kostick, but Ott really just pulling away from the 48 right now. Looking a little farther back into the field, though, you're getting a great battle, if we can see it, between the 8th place in Brett Bieber and the 9th place car of Andy Kurtz. Kurtz looking to the inside of the 32, and you got Jason Arison on the scene there as well. Kurtz to the inside of Bieber as they go into turn 1. He'll make that pass work. Back up in the 8th place here is Andy Kurtz. The battle not done yet for Brett Bieber, though, as here comes the 44 of Arison trying to follow him on through. Arison down low, Bieber 2 lanes up from the apron. Now making their way on to the front stretch here. Neither side really gaining or losing any momentum that time by. Going into turn 1, the 44 able to dive in a little bit deeper. Can he get the release he's looking for, though? It gets stunted a little bit, but he's still got a nose ahead of the 32. Trying to dive it in toward turn 3 and 4 here. Will not be able to clear him just yet, but trying to try and move him up the racetrack just a little bit. And Arison tentatively with the 9th place position. And now finally will have the opportunity to clear the 32 if he so chooses. And he will, as Bieber slides all the way down the track to try and cut off Tony Iverson at the pass. This is the battle for 10th just behind them. As you also see the 94 of Hall going up way to the outside there, trying to get that run through turns 3 and 4. Bieber to the inside of Iverson here. This is the battle for 10th. Brett Bieber started the season with 3 straight 10th place finishes. I know it may not be the position he wants, but he's in prime position to make it his 4th in 5 races here as he's battling for 10th with Tony Iverson. Iverson, though, going to make that move on the outside and begin to pull away from the 32. He's going to move his way into the top 10 here. A big day so far for the 24, our winner from Atlanta to open the season. He started all the way back outside the top 20. Now has moved himself inside the top 10. So a steady day of forward progress there for the 24s. The 32 having some trouble right now. The 94, Hall is going to go around the outside. So is the 114 of Travis Bieber. And then you've got the 56 of Craig Schroeder right there as well. The 32, about 5 laps ago, was running inside the top 10, now being scored back in 14th. Moving a little farther up here, we're going to watch this battle between Travis Bieber and Bobby Hall. This is the battle for 11th as they run. Two-thirds of the way through this one here, Iowa. 22 cars still on the lead lap. The only car out of this race right now, the 60 of Michael Nash in that lap 12 crash. Everyone else still on the lead lap here, although the 31 of Blake Hensley definitely struggling. He was the other car involved in that incident. He's nearly 20 seconds off the leader. And at the rate we're going here, he's only a few laps away from potentially getting lapped by the 4 of Jim Ott, who has pulled out a 2-second gap over Lucas Lyons, who's now under pressure from the 8 of Michael Kostick up there. Looks like the 48 could be in some trouble here, as it looks like the 8 of Kostick will roll right around the outside. Absolutely no problems there for Kostick making that pass happen. He'll clear the 48, and now will set his sights on trying to hit his marks and track down Jim Ott, which will be easier said than done with that 2-second gap. But right now, Lucas Lyons into survival mode here for the 48, as he's now in the clutches of James Silvers and Kyle Mays behind him. Kostick caught him in not a whole lot of time, and that was a near 2-second gap, so you can't, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say that the 48 might have some issues here holding off the 33 and 55 as well when it's only a half-second gap. Seventy-one laps complete here from Iowa, looking into the back part of the top 10. Iverson is currently 10th, but maybe not for long. Here comes the 94 of Bobby Hall Jr. looking to roll that outside. He's been really committed to that outside lane most of the day here, and it's worked out to reasonable effect. Currently scored in the 11th position, trying to break into the top 10, but he's been more willing to run outside of that middle lane than anyone else I've seen so far this evening. And now trying to use it here to get around the 24 of Iverson. Iverson moving up half a lane, though, to try and take that away, and now forcing the 94 to look down low. '94 of Bobby Hall Jr. backing off just a little bit here. These cars really starting to think about how are they going to make it to the end of this race. This is the longest green flag run of the race to this point. The opening stage got split up by the lone accident in this race so far today. And then the stage break at lap 35 made it only about a 20-lap stint from there. So this is now uncharted territory for a lot of these drivers. It's a big slide there from the 24. He got really loose coming off of turn 2 as he was on the back bumper of Ayrton. And now Iverson going to have to try and defend way up high against the 94 of Hall. Meanwhile, the 114 of Bieber now sneaking into the picture as well. These cars 9th through 12th on track, and they're all battling pretty heavy here with 26 laps to go. Hall again looking to that outside, running way up near that wall. It's definitely cleaner track versus where they're running at the moment, but it is so far out there. Will he gain any time? He got a really good run off of the corner. Looking to the inside of Iverson here, going in the turn one. The 94 of Hall down low, the 24 of Iverson up high. Uncharted territory for both of these drivers. They're normally running the other way around. Hall not really able to get that bottom side to work the way he was hoping. He will slide back in behind Iverson, who again has a bit of a slide off of turn 4. The handling on the 24 starting to go away a little bit as we watch it here in the closing stages of this race. Lucas Lyons here under pressure from Kyle Mays. The 55 trying to take away that position from the 48. Mays down low, has a nose ahead, but hasn't fully cleared Lucas Lyons. Lyons has already lost out to the 33 of James Silvers. Now you can add the 55 of Kyle Mays to that list if he can complete the pass here coming off of turn 2. Not going to be able to just yet. Now will. Not a whole lot of clearance, but the 55 will clear him. So Lucas Lyons, who won the battle off of pit road with that quick stop, has fallen back to 5th place here, and now Matt McMeekin will begin knocking on the door of the top 5, trying to see if he can break in past Lucas Lyons. McMeekin all the way down to the apron. Lyons follows him there. They make their way into 3. A dive from McMeekin. He looks to the inside of Lyons, who didn't give him a lot of room, but McMeekin made that attempt work. He'll be side by side with the 48 coming off of 4, and with 20 laps to go, McMeekin looks to slide around the inside here of 1 and 2 and take away that 5th position. He's almost got him cleared. It's so close at this point. Now we'll finally clear the 48. Matt McMeekin up in the 5th. The Lions machine falls back to 6th, and now Cunningham stepping onto the scene here. He'll take his attempt here getting around the 48, which all the cars in front of him to this point have been able to do this run. The 48 right now just trying to hold on to what's left of that car, hold on to what's left of this run, and see if he can make it to the end of this race. Less than 20 laps to go here in the Overtake iRacing League Xfinity Series race from Iowa, the 5th season race of the season. Jim Ott looks to be the 5th different winner of the series so far. If he can pick up the victory here tonight, he currently leads by 2 seconds over the 8 of Michael Kostick. And then looking farther a little on back, McMeekin looks to the inside of Kyle Mays. This is the battle for 4th as they run. He'll have to slide back in as we see the 48 here continuing the struggle as he loses out to the 08 of Cunningham. But McMeekin here on the back bumper of Kyle Mays. Both of these cars looking for a strong finish here. McMeekin's had back-to-back top 10s in the past few races. The 55 of Kyle Mays, Mid-Ohio, was his first non-top 10 finish of the season. So for one, it's about trying to keep a string of momentum going. The other, trying to reset that momentum they had in the start of the year. Both of them doing a fine job of it right now, running inside the top 5, but you know 4th is just that little bit better than 5th. And here comes the 08 of Daniel Cunningham onto the scene as well. He's had a bit of a quiet evening here, but now trying to inject himself into this battle for 4th place. McMeekin runs a line off the bottom. Mays runs about a line higher than that. Cunningham splitting the difference right now, seeing who's going to be the victor of these two. McMeekin able to clear him through turn 3 and 4. The 41 will slide up and take away the position as the 55 clipped the wall off of turn 4. Not heavy damage for him, but it will open the door for the 08 of Daniel Cunningham. Cunningham looking to break into the top 5 here around the 55 of Mays. Not sure if he'll be able to get it done yet. Meanwhile, the 41 of McMeekin looking at the back bumper of Silvers now. 3rd through 6th, all starting to conjoin in the same square footage. Cunningham looking to the inside of Kyle Mays. The 08 and the 55 battling it out for 5th. As McMeekin slowly closing in on the back bumper of Silvers here. That gap now 2/10. 1 car length on track. Now make it half a car length here. The 41 got a really good turn through 1 and 2. He'll close right into the back bumper of Silvers. Now diving to the inside, it's McMeekin. He looks to take away that 3rd position. He's got a nose ahead right now, but they will be side by side coming off of turn 4. The battle will continue into turn 1. Neither side able to clear the other. McMeekin finally has the nose ahead. He'll slide up in front of the 33, and he'll take away that position, a hard-fought position there to get onto the bottom step of the podium. McMeekin up to 3rd place. But now, the next car that would be in his line of sight, over 2 seconds away, Michael Kostick. Kostick has remained about 2 seconds back of Jim Ott, who has just been smooth sailing for most of this race here. He has been cruising ever since he took the lead away from Lucas Lyons about 20-30 laps ago. Lyons, though, back all the way to 9th, maybe about to fall back to 10th here. But there are 10 laps to go here from Iowa. Jim Ott leads. As looking right here, the battle for 5th. Cunningham has finally gotten to the inside of Mays. Daniel Cunningham in that Toyota Supra looking to take away 5th position from the 55. He's got that inside line. He just has to find a way to make it stick and slide up in front of the 55, which might be a little harder to do now with the 33 blocking both of their paths. Will someone try and use the 33 as a pick, or will Silvers get in the gear and start pulling away from these two? Looks like Cunningham's going to get that low side to work. He'll slide up in front of the 55. Cunningham now into the top 5, and he's looking for more on the back bumper of Silvers. Now to the outside is the 08. He made the pass against Mays on the inside, looking to get around Silvers on the outside. That 08 seems pretty versatile with wherever he tries to put it right now. He's going to get a better run off of this corner. The 33 gets a little bit loose, but is able to stay side by side with him here. As they roll off the corner, there will be 7 laps to go here from Iowa. Cunningham takes away the position. He's up in the P4. And now Mays and Silvers will battle for 5th here. Michael Kostick is also cut off half of a second here off of the back bumper of Jim Ott. He's starting to close in on our leader. Kostick here has run some pretty good laps most recently, the past 2. That gap that was 2 seconds most of this race has now cut down to 1.2, 1.3 seconds here. Jim Ott might just trying to be able to preserve a little bit to the end, but he also knows that 8 going to try and pounce on him in a heartbeat here. As Ott rolls off the corner, it will be 5 laps to go here from Iowa. Once he got around the 48 of Lyons, it was smooth sailing for him, trying to close it out to the end. Mays gets around the 33 of Silvers. That 33 car has fallen away in the past few laps here, did not have the strength it needed to make it to the end of this race up in the top 3. Now being scored back into the 6th position, although I think that's about as far back as he can fall, as it's about a 2-second gap back to 7th. Kostick within a second now, score at 8/10. 4 laps to go. Will he have the time to get to the back bumper of Ott? Kostick now less than 3/4 of a second. Now 6/10. He is really making strides to catch up to the back bumper of the 4 here. But now that gap will open back out. You can see the gap there. It's about 5-6 car lengths between the 2. 3 laps to go here. Michael Kostick trying to track down the leader. He seems to be getting really good runs off the corner here, especially turn 2. Half a second the difference here. You could see how much he closed up. Ott will get to the stripe. 2 laps to go from Iowa. Another good run off the corner for the 8. Another 10th chopped off the lead. The 8 is there. He's going to put some pressure on the 4 here. Off of turn 2. Right to the back bumper of Ott. He's been smooth sailing all race, but now the 8 of Michael Kostick is there. 1 mile to go here from Iowa. Final lap. Jim Ott has a 2-second gap has evaporated. Michael Kostick is there trying to take away the lead. Ott runs in a lane off the bottom. Kostick trying to get that run off the corner that he had used so well the past couple laps. 1 car length the difference between the two. Kostick trying to roll that outside as they make their way off of turn 4. Who's it going to be? He got a really good run. The 8 of Michael Kostick takes it at the line. Michael Kostick leads 1 lap tonight, and it's the final lap. Getting around Jim Ott on the final corner. What an unbelievable race. Jim Ott will have to settle for his 3rd second place finish of the season. Oh my goodness. The 8 looked like it was on rails in those final 10 laps. It made up an over 2-second gap. And on the final lap, the final corner, not even the corner, the final half a straightaway, the 8 found what they needed to do to pick up the victory. I'm genuinely in shock. That feels like it came out of nowhere. The 4 had been so dominant, all of them axed into that race. And then just at the last second, Michael Kostick picks up the victory. Unbelievable. Well, we're going to let the 8 burn it down there, and as drivers start to get out of their cars, and we'll have an opportunity to talk to our top 3 finishers here in just a minute. We are going to take a very short commercial break, and we will be right back with the final results and the post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Welcome back, everybody. What a race we just got the witness here at Iowa Speedway. The Overtake iRacing League never disappoints on Tuesday nights with this Xfinity series. Another absolutely thrilling race. Wow. Well, an opportunity now to talk with our podium finishers. Producer Christian, who are we talking to first? Is it our winner in Michael Kostick? All right. So we'll bring him into the booth here. Our winner tonight, the driver of the number 8, the first 2-time winner here in the Overtake iRacing League Xfinity Series, coming in from out of nowhere, the 8 of Michael Kostick. Michael, congrats on the victory. You've got to tell us what those last couple laps were like.
Oh yeah, a little nerve-wracking. I thought he was going to be able to make it there. I would have been shocked the way he was driving. He had so much short-run speed. Um, there was no way I would have been able to keep up with him. So I just went into super save mode, and I barely made it. So him making it that far is just insane. He did a great job saving fuel for as long as he did.
Was that the big difference? Was the 4 trying to save fuel at the end there when you were going full tilt?
Yeah, absolutely. Once I think it got to like 5 to go, I was closing 2 or 3 tenths a lap, and I knew then he was going into heavy conserve mode. So I just tried to push it a little bit more, but without trying to ruin my fuel mileage, and caught him in just enough time.
Well, certainly was the case. You couldn't have timed it any better. Um, when in when in your race did you start trying to go and realize that fuel save was going to be the move? We saw that a couple cars after the stage break were already clutching before the restart to try and save fuel. Did you also start that early, or was it a bit of a later realization?
No, yeah, I started shutting it off under that caution there, and then when we took the green, I just tried to get as much track position as possible, and then kind of settle in, and then I just didn't go into heavy conserve, but just consistently was letting off earlier, dragging the brakes a little longer, waiting to get in the throttles, just trying to kind of maintain a little bit of speed while saving. So, um, yeah, usually I'm not very good at saving fuel, so glad it worked out for a change.
It certainly seems to have worked out. Your second victory of the season here. Thrilling fashion, no doubt about it. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out here before I let you go celebrate your victory tonight?
Yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast of eSpeed. Always fun to go back and watch them. Alex and Dave for all the work they put into the league, and everybody else who helps out, and uh, everybody else in the field. Really, it's fun racing these guys every week. Always have a blast doing it, and then my teammates at Bandits and C2.
Well, congratulations on a absolutely thrilling victory. Uh, I don't even know what to say. It was just that shocking to see it come to fruition in the last couple laps there. But congrats on the win, and we hope to see you again in the booth super soon.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And that was Michael Kostick, our race winner here tonight from Iowa. Looks like that was it looks like the strategy fell into his lap there at the last second. Going to see if we can find Jim Ott, but in the meantime, we'll have an opportunity to talk to third place finisher Matt McMeekin in just a moment here. So we'll welcome him into the booth here. Our third place finisher this evening, the 41 of Matt McMeekin, brings it home on the podium tonight with a third place finish. A good, strong run, starting from 18th to 3rd. Matt, take us through your race tonight.
Just pretty simple. Keep the brake early and, pretend you have an egg underneath your pedal. So, yeah, just kept it nice and easy and methodically worked my way up.
It certainly seemed to be the case. We got to witness a lot of those moves, especially in the top 10, top 5 area when you went up from 6th to 3rd over a couple of laps there. What was going through your head trying to make your way up through especially through the top 10 into the top 5 there? Was there any sort of thoughts about fuel save? I know we heard from Michael Kostick that there was some concerns about fuel trying to make it to the end. Were you also worried about that, or was it just going about business as usual?
I think a couple guys went in to pit with like 6 or 7 to go, and that's kind of when the caution light went on in my head. I'm like, oh, I better check this. So it was like two plus to the good, and I saved a little bit on that last caution. So working myself up from 10 to 3rd, and that time period was just to run the car easy as I could, but make good time. So and that's what happened, and everyone worked with me. Let me pass him.
It certainly seemed to work out for you. Luckily, in your case, you weren't one of the cars, I suppose, that were in dire need of some fuel save. If you only realized it with a few laps to go, but seemed to have worked out for you. And another strong run for you here that caps off now three straight weeks of pretty strong finishes for you. How does that affect your momentum going into Indy after three straight top tens?
I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty stoked about it, and I'm the new guy. I got to prove myself, and I'm learning how to race around everybody, and I'm sure they're learning off of me too. So I'm trying to give that extra room, a little bit more respect to everybody, and so far so good. I'm pretty happy where I'm at, and yeah, just got a little momentum, and looking forward to Indy. I like it.
Well, congrats on the podium there, Matt. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out before we let you go on your way here this evening?
I'm grateful for my kids going to bed on time, so I can get on here and play. That's what I'm grateful for.
Well, can't say it any better than that, I suppose. Congratulations on the podium there, Matt, and we hope to see you again in the booth real soon.
Sounds good. Thanks. Appreciate it.
And that was our third place finisher tonight, Matt McMeekin. Brings it home third after starting 18th, plus 15 on the day for the 41 machine. A nice strong run to the front. And unfortunately, not able to talk to Jim Ott this evening, but we will talk to our pole sitter here this evening in the 30 of Alex Penn. We'll bring him into the booth now. The 30 of Alex Penn started up on pole. Not the finish I'm sure you were hoping for there, Alex, but definitely a good bit of laps led here tonight.
Yeah, stage was kind of fun. I'm glad we were able to pull off the pit stop in there and get back to the front and score the playoff point, which is definitely going to be helpful now that we know we're locked in from last week. Was a little bit disappointing of a run after the stage though, because I was kind of banking on people burning their tires up a little bit more and hopefully having to pit, and they just never did.
Yeah, so that was going to be my follow-up question is we saw you had restarted up toward the front after the stage break, and then it seemed like you kind of faded away a little bit. We didn't get an opportunity really to see you too much after that. Was it because that you were banking on people to burn stuff up, or was there something off with the car on that second run? What was the what changed between then and the first stage and then?
Yeah, I was just kind of banking on people burning their stuff up, and then by the time wanted to finally get going again, it was too difficult to get around people, even though I had saved more tires than them.
Well, obviously 13th, not necessarily where you want to be, but you do add a playoff point with your stage win to pair nicely with that victory last week from Mid Ohio. How do you approach going into Indianapolis next week, knowing that like there were some high spots to this race, but also not necessarily the finish that you were looking for?
I'm gonna I'm gonna look at Indianapolis, Bristol, and whatever else is in between Watkins Glen, and just say, let's get through and get to Watkins Glen and go from there.
You know what? Nothing wrong with that. I respect that answer, 100%, man. You know, you know where your strengths are at, and you want to capitalize on them.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyone else you'd like to, or anyone you'd like to thank or shout out here before we let you go on your way this evening?
For sure. You guys definitely up in the broadcast booth with V Speed. You guys put on a great show every race every week. The other admins for helping to put on the league. The guys over at Cornerstone, uh, Aerial Professionals of Western North Carolina, Function Junction Smoke Shop, who were on the car tonight. We have a little joke going on in Cornerstone that whoever runs that car has a bit of extra power in it, and definitely showed in qualifying tonight. GG's of Waynesville, North Carolina, Mountain View Detailing, and Waynesville Tire as well.
Well, congratulations on at least a stage victory. We do hope to see you again in the booth real soon there, Alex.
Thank you.
And that was Alex Penn, who did not get the finish that he was looking for here tonight, but did win the stage, did win the pole. So definitely some highlights to his night, just not necessarily the big one at the end. But with that, it's going to bring us to our overall final results from tonight's OiL Xfinity race here from Iowa. After 100 laps of battle, here's how all the drivers fared. Michael Kostick was able to sneak around Jim Ott in the closing laps, saving just enough fuel and tires to pick up the victory. Jim Ott will bring it home second after leading most of that back stint of the race. Matt McMeekin, the third car on the podium there, going from 18th to 3rd. Daniel Cunningham brings it home fourth there in the 08, and James Silvers will hold on to the top 5 there, just ahead of Kyle Mays in the 55. Andy Kurtz will bring it home 7th in the number 5 machine. Bobby Hall Jr. in the 94 brings it home 8th. Travis Bieber in the 114th will bring it home 9th, and then Justin Ray goes up from 22nd to 10th to bring it home 10th tonight. 11th tonight is Lucas Lyons. He did start 20th, so +9 on the night, but he did restart that final stint up front and then fell back, so maybe not the finish he was looking for here, but did get to lead a few laps into the mix there as well. Craig Schroeder will bring it home 12th tonight. Alex Penn 13th. Drew Prohl 14th tonight in the number 80, and Cody Anderson finishes 15th. Brett Bieber in the 32 will bring it home 16th tonight. Thomas Hall in the 93, 17th. Jason Harrison, 18th in the 44, with Dustin Reinstedel and Tony Iverson rounding out your top 20. And the last 3 cars in the field tonight, Blake Hensley, who had that earlier contact there with Michael Nash, he'll bring it home 21st. The 35 of Kyle Roberts will bring it home 22nd tonight. And Michael Nash, his day ended early, finishing 88 laps down in 23rd. And that was our final results here tonight from the virtual Iowa Speedway. The 5th race of the OiL Xfinity Series is in the books. 5 straight races of incredible races, incredible finishes. Genuinely, we've been really spoiled with how this season has started so far. And it is making it must-watch TV here live on V-Speed. So, next race will be Tuesday night, 9 p.m. We'll be going to Indianapolis. The 60 laps around the big 2.5-mile oval should be a thrilling one. Actually, I'm looking at it. It's in 2 weeks' time. So not next week, 2 weeks' time. We'll be going to Indianapolis there, 2:20. So we will be skipping a week and then coming back a week after that for Indianapolis. But don't fret. There is plenty more OiL action to come. There's another OiL race tomorrow night, the Cup Series, live on V-Speed at 9 p.m. And don't forget to like and subscribe to V-Speed for all of your sim racing content that you'd love to enjoy. There are races happening on this channel basically every night, sometimes 2 at once. I mean, this is the place to be watching sim racing right now. So this has been our broadcast tonight of the Overtake iRacing League from Iowa. For all the league admins, all the folks who are here at V-Speed, producer Christian Hill, I've been Alex Gagnon, telling everyone to have a good night, and we will catch you next time here for the Overtake iRacing League on V-Speed.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.